Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. I haven't actually done a video on this channel in absolutely ages, but I thought I had to come back today. I had to make a video on the situation discussing Frank Lampard at Chelsea Football Club. Should he be sacked? Should he stay? Let's dissect all of these factors, give my verdict, because there is so much to talk about, so many factors here and there. So I wanted to make a video on it basically. I wanted to talk about it, give my thoughts out there, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below what you want to happen with Frank Lampard, what you really think is the best way forward, what your opinion is on this current situation at Chelsea. Please get back to me in the comments down below. Without any further ado though, let's start with the video, getting into every single factor and really dissecting this story. But I want to start the video by taking it all the way back to the summer of 2019 when Frank Lampard was appointed Chelsea manager. And I want to just say this, Frank Lampard fulfilled his Chelsea managerial job to absolute perfection, in my opinion, in that first season. He brought through a number of young players, he got rid of quite a few dead wood, we saw that in this summer more than last if you will. And what we also saw, guys, is Lampard, in my opinion, overachieve as a manager. He overachieved last season, getting top four with that group of players. He did it to absolute perfection, and he led us to a season that, in my opinion, there isn't really any other coach in world football that could have done it. With that group of players, to do that well consistently, for me, Lampard did a superb job last season. But talking about this season, which of course is the most important thing, football is not something to relive, it's something to live in the present really. He hasn't done well enough. This season we went and spent so much money in the summer, we brought in so many good players, our team looked so good, and I think it's fair to say we all expected, me included, more from Chelsea. We wanted Chelsea to progress this season. The issue is we're going backwards. That's where this all stems from. Chelsea are going backwards from last season, and that simply cannot happen, and we all agree on that. That's for Abramovich, that's for ourselves. We know that's not good enough. That's where the sacking debate is coming from. Chelsea are going backwards. The team looks absolutely excellent on paper. Our squad is quite simply incredible, and to think that right now we could be finishing outside the Champions League, which we finished inside last season, out of the Carabao Cup quite early on, out of the Champions League perhaps in the round of 16 to Atletico. If we carry on like this, you'd imagine that's almost a formality. And then you've got the FA Cup. Will we even get to the final this year? Probably not. So ultimately that is where the issue lies, and Abramovich will not stand by and watch Lampard do worse than he did last season without giving him the sack. We know how Abramovich works, so we can debate it till the cows go home. At the end of the day, Abramovich will make the call, and he's very good at doing that. But I really want to dig into this season so far and give my fair assessment on it, and I want to start by saying, look, I'm not happy either. As a Chelsea fan, I agree that we lack a clear style of play, that we're underperforming with the sheer amount of quality and talent that we've got this season, and I don't think it's acceptable to have a worse season this season compared to the one we had last season, considering how much our team has improved. It's just not on, and it's not good enough. However, my defence of Lampard is this. The project was built around Frank Lampard. He's been at the absolute heart of this. He, not single-handedly, there's been a lot of people, of course, the backing, the money, people like Petr Cech in between as well, the players as well, give them credit, especially the ones that stepped up last season. But Frank Lampard, let's be honest, he's been at the heart of this Chelsea project. So you know what, perhaps it is too harsh to simply rule him out of it when he's just 6 months in to his second season, if that, guys. So I would say it's clear right now for Lampard, he's not doing well enough, but is it harsh to get rid of the man who's the heart of this project that we want to take forward? That's what I ask. Also, guys, I think I want to mention that the new signings are clearly underperforming, and it's just so clear that this team, it needs more time. It really does. In modern football, unfortunately, you just don't get more time, and that probably is the issue in this modern Twitter era, if you like. There, of course, needs to be that balance between giving Lampard time and sacking him in the right time so we don't become, an underperforming club, a club that's happy with mediocrity. That cannot happen, and ultimately, Abramovich, he'll be the man who lines down and says, if we're not doing well enough, you're gone, mate. But I think it is right now right to find a balance for Chelsea in terms of, do we need this many results, or is it right to give Lampard time to wait for the signings to bed in, to really get some results on the board and actually start building this project? Because this project isn't a 5-month thing. Let's be honest with ourselves. We didn't sign all these players to do amazingly in the first 5 months of the season. I agree, right now it's nowhere near good enough, and the worry is that it won't be good enough in a few years' time. That's, if we were guaranteed it would be good in 2 years' time, we wouldn't be thinking about sacking Lampard. The debate is he actually the one to take us on? And in 3 years' time, will we actually be winning trophies under Lampard? That's what Abramovich has to weigh up. That's what our fans are weighing up now, and we've got to make that decision. But where do I stand? What is my official stance on this Lampard in, Lampard out stuff? And I want to say this, I'm leaning towards sticking with Frank Lampard. I have been for a while, at least for now. I think he's certainly been let down by a few of the new signings who simply need more time. That's an absolute fact, guys, and it isn't an overnight thing. I mentioned that earlier. This project football teams, it's not an overnight success, and that probably is what people don't realise this season. We know at Chelsea it is quite cutthroat, whereas if you're not doing well, especially with money behind you, you are gone, and Lampard will know that full well. This is my stance on it. This is what I think. I say we keep Lampard for the next few games. But you'd have to say, if the team continues to look weak, if they continue to look like they don't really want to play for this manager, if we don't see tactical improvements, then there's a big argument to get rid of him, and ultimately Abramovich will just do that. But the reason I say keep Lampard in, on top of the other things I just mentioned in terms of giving him time, giving him real time to embed his new signings, to build the project that he ultimately built himself, I want to say this, our next fixtures are Morecambe in the Cup. It has to be a win, hopefully with some new younger faces in the lineup also, Hudson-Odoi, Gilmore, even players like Lewis Bates, or Livramento from the academy. Then you've got Fulham coming up in the Premier League, which simply has to be 3 points. If Lampard doesn't get 3 points there, then you worry for him. Then midweek we've got Leicester. I highlight this game on the calendar because it's a proper test. It's a team who look a third, second right now in the Premier League. They're really up there, so that's a real test for Lampard at the King Power Stadium. If Chelsea pick up 3 points there, even a draw, to be fair, I know it wouldn't be ideal, but in these circumstances, we're starting to build. And then you've got Wolves at home, and then you've got Burnley at home, and it's just a chance for Lampard now to win some football matches. And if he doesn't do it, then I think it's fair to say he will be gone. But let's give him the chance to actually win some games. We've got some time off now. We've got Morecambe, we've got Fulham, Leicester, Wolves, Burnley. I don't look at those fixtures and think, oh dear, like I did with the fixtures we just had, the Everton, I know Wolves were in it as well, you've got West Ham, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City, really tricky games, all in the space of a few days with an underperforming team. If we take some time off, we approach these fixtures in a different manner, that's what we've got to go for, to win a lot of them. I'm talking about 4 wins out of those 5 games and a draw in the other game. That's what we've got to do now. You'd imagine Abramovich will not settle for any less than that. And with Atletico Madrid around the corner in the Champions League, he will not hesitate to chuck out Lampard and put in someone like Thomas Tuchel. So ultimately, that is my stance on this. I would keep Lampard at least for now. I just feel, what have we learned if we get rid of Lampard already? I know a few people have also agreed with me on that. Should we really be chucking out another manager already when we wanted to build a big project around him? I'm not so sure. Like I've said so many times, Abramovich will be the one to make that decision, whether he feels if Lampard is the right or wrong man to lead this team forward, and we will find out about that very soon. But what I'm hoping is this January, we get some confidence back. We've seen how crazy the season is. You look at a month ago, I want to use this as an example. When Man United got knocked out of the Champions League by Leipzig, they were being absolutely ridiculed. People were saying, yep, there's Ollie, the PE teacher, out he goes. Look at all these United players, they don't deserve to wear the badge. All of this stuff, the same stuff that we're hearing now for Chelsea, the same stuff that we hear so much now in this modern Twitter era that I call it. It's just so, a few bad results and everyone goes mental. Look at United now, at the end of December. I know it's January now, but look, not even a month after they got eliminated by Leipzig, look at Man United. Everything's dandy. Everything's perfect. They're claiming they're going to win the Premier League. That's how quickly football can change. 4 wins in a row, 3 wins in a row even, and you are there. Look at Arsenal now. They just won 3 wins in a row. Even easy games, especially the one against Chelsea. We fell over for them. So Arsenal picked up 3 easy wins, and now look at their fans. They have optimism back. So that's football this season. Teams are dropping points everywhere. And if we go on a run of form in January, we've got a good chance of building some momentum. But it's all about, once we've got that momentum, not falling into a slump again. If we keep doing this under Lampard, winning 3 in a row, winning 4 in a row, going unbeaten for 10 in a row, for example, and then you have another period like this, we're not going forward. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's not what we want to be at Chelsea Football Club. We want to be up, up and up, and winning trophies relentlessly. I want to end the video by saying this, my most important point maybe of the entire video so far. Whatever happens in the next month, year, whatever with Chelsea's managerial situation, the Frank Lampard project, if you will, is absolutely excellent. And what I mean by that is this. Lampard has shipped off a lot of Chelsea deadwood. He's brought through some of the best young players I think we see in this country. Reece James, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, you look at Fikayo Tomori last season. These are players that with another manager last season wouldn't have even been Chelsea Football Club players. And they one day, already really, are going to go on to be outstanding players. What Lampard's also done is built an incredible team. Whether he's the man who can really take it forward or not is another matter, but he brought in Mendy in the summer, Chilwell, Thiago Silva for goodness sake, Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, the top European players with backing from Abramovich, but Lampard played a key role in that. He's built a really, really good team, an elite Chelsea team, a sort of team that can challenge for Premier Leagues, even Champions League guys. And whatever happens, their new manager comes in, they're going to look around at this squad and think, wow, thank you Lampard, I've got one of the best teams in Europe here. I can't believe I'm having to pick between Havertz and Mount and Kovacic, and you've got Gilmour coming through and Jorginho's not even getting a sniff in. Players like this, guys, Chelsea have got elite players all over the pitch. Whether Lampard's the man to take it forward or not is another matter that Abramovich ultimately and results will decide. Very soon we'll know that, but the Lampard Project, what he's done for this club over the last 2 years, has transformed it and set us up for a whole year to decades of dominance, in my opinion. So please let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. I hope I got through all my points in the video. I'm very much in the stance that I want to give Lampard time to really put his project into play. We've seen no way near enough fit or good Timo Werner. Kai Havertz, Ziyech hasn't really played that much football for us either. So I want to give the man time. I want to give Chelsea time to really put this project into play. But if the results keep doing badly, if we just slip under teams like Arsenal and Leeds and stuff, look, the fact of the matter is Abramovich will chuck him out. Whatever happens, Lampard's built a great project here at Chelsea. We've just got to see who can take it on and win us those trophies. But that's where I'm going to leave it. Please leave all your thoughts down below. I hope this was a fair assessment on the whole situation. Until then, goodbye.